Welcome to the Soul Happy Success Show. Coach Rebecca here, and today we're talking all about when you're tired, overwhelmed, and it's all too much, and you just think, I can't go to the next level because I can't even handle the current one. You're in the right place if you want to hear about those things. Please like and subscribe, it helps so much. Before we dive in today with a visual. So this is a picture that I have, and I look at it often, and it is me in my first business. I'm at my parents' house, and I am lying down on the floor in front of their fire, which was my favorite place and still is my favorite place in the whole world. And I've got a list of people's contact under one arm. I've got a book for inspiration. I've got a yoga book out because I was actually starting a yoga business at the same time. And I've got my phone in my hand, and I am exhausted. And I am just so exhausted that I have fallen asleep face down on the floor. Now, maybe that's a little bit dramatic, but I'm guessing that you can, if you've clicked on this, relate to burnout and overwhelm. And the really interesting thing is that these words are such abstract concepts, burnout and overwhelm, that what we understand from them is this person needs to stop and rest. And while there is a place for that, like when you're literally doing your work and you've fallen asleep face down on the floor, then I want us to explore what the root cause is first through 3 concepts to explore when you're feeling overwhelmed and burned out. Because typically people will say, just stop doing things, just stop. But I don't live by that philosophy because I'm not that kind of person. And I know many people aren't either. I had a client once who I asked her to take a day off. I suggested, not asked, I suggested she take a day off. And she said, I can't give you a day. And I said, oh, okay, maybe we could do half a day. And she said, I can't even give you half a day. I don't even have 5 minutes for myself. I was like, so an hour is out also. Got it. Typically, we can't just take things off our plate. So the first concept I want to explore is not less, better. So if you could have taken things off your plate, you would have done it by now, right? The reason that many people feel like everything is just all too much is because we dishonor the systems that make us feel the best. And we dishonor our boundaries around those systems. So as an example, we all know that eating healthy foods, moving our bodies, getting outside, taking some time for like quiet reflection, whether that is a meditation or some journaling, they have a significant impact over time on our ability to handle stress. However, how often do you put those things off because you're too busy? Right? This is not to shame you. And if you feel shame right now, this is a place to shift it into a productive force because everyone does this. Everyone uses the I'm too busy as an excuse. And then as a result, feel overwhelmed and burned out because we're not actually taking care of ourselves. So we want to promote a growth mindset here. This is a place where you can come and you can shift. And that's what I want for you, because for most of us, it's about how well do we manage what we already have to do, because you're not willing to give it up. You're not willing to give it up. And we have to accept the consequence of, if I'm not willing to give this up, this is going to be my life. And what will happen over time is that also your nervous system will adjust. It will adjust to having more pressure, but you need the right systems in place if you're feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. So some systems for my personal success, and this will be different for you, is eating a second breakfast. Oh my gosh, I do not function in the afternoon without having a second breakfast. So that's something that is my system for success. I know I have to have that, or I'm not going to be able to play a big game in the afternoon. I'm going to be napping. I will be napping. Another system for success is I listen to my coach's training every day, every single day. I listened to it today. I listened to it yesterday. Every day before that, as soon as I got the app where my coach literally launches information every day, it's called the Daily Fire, I listen to it every day. And the reason why is because I cannot guarantee that I'm going to be in the mood to do anything. I can't guarantee that. It is based on the last 72 hours of my physical biology, my emotional state, where I am right now. We're traveling. So that's something that also plays a part. So when you can't guarantee that you're going to wake up every single day and be super, super motivated, I am going to instill a practice which pulls me out of negative thinking into a growth mindset. So that is something that is my system for success. Even if it's 40 minutes long, I will figure out how to fit it in my day. And that is how I am not burning out, and why I believe I've not burned out in such a long time is because I'm doing that. And I'm eating my second breakfast. And another thing that I'm doing is I journal. I journal every day, and it took me a really long time to be on the journaling bandwagon. So I get it if you are not there. But something that really helped me was learning the statistic that says if you journal twice a week, you reduce your stress by about 12%. And I was like, well, surely it reduces more if you do it every single day. So I've really committed to doing those morning pages from The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, if you've ever heard of it. I also have a high performance journal, and that's what I'm working with currently. I'm not doing both because I'm not wild, but you have to create your own systems, and by honoring them, you will start to avoid overwhelm and burnout because you're actually taking care of yourself. Those are 3 things that really allow me to care for myself, so that all of the stresses and the pressures that come in when I'm not willing to let go of different things, I can handle them because I've taken care of myself first. So it's not less. Maybe it's that you don't have to do less. Maybe you just need to do it a little bit better. And you take better care of yourself along the way. And the second thing that I absolutely recommend is if you're feeling overwhelmed or burned out, it's not just rest. It's not just rest. It's not just like turn on like a movie and like watch TV. Like that's not rest. We're talking about intentional rest. So if you're going to rest, it cannot be falling on the couch to scroll for the evening, or grabbing a bag of chips and scrolling Netflix, or getting in a lukewarm bath that you're in for 5 minutes and then your kids come in and like disrupt you, or whatever may happen. If you are going to do these things, do them with intention. And I've chosen 3 kind of specific things because a lot of people are addicted to scrolling. A lot of people are addicted to TV and eating things that they know are not going to be good for them. And also, a lot of people, when they think of rest, think of a bath, right? Sometimes, like, the idea of a bath, like, smacks way harder than actually having the bath. I get it. But I don't advocate for doing things with no intention. Just doing these things isn't enough. If you are going to do these things, make it super bougie. Super bougie. So, for example, I do not advocate scrolling. That's not something that I'm a big fan of. I actually did a whole podcast on it with my friend Tamara from All Women Rock, and it has never served me or a single client. But if you're going to scroll, then make sure that you clean up your social media. So spend 30 minutes cleaning up your social media as a part of that scroll time, and then scroll away. It's almost like in Signs where they're like, swing away, Meryl. Like if it's positive, scroll away. Go to Pinterest. Everything on Pinterest just seems happier. So jump on there. If you are going to Netflix and you want to make it bougie, now when you're scrolling, you can't really make that much bougier, like unless you like get comfortable, get some pillows. But when you're Netflix, get some pillows, grab a blanket, invite a friend, choose something very special to watch. If you are lacking inspiration, watch Legally Blonde. And that is a personal recommendation, but watch something that's inspirational, that's motivational. If you're feeling like you don't have the motivation in business, watch something that's business related. Watch something special, something from your childhood that lit you up. You know, whatever you watched when you were younger and you were sick. Oh my gosh, I watched The Nightmare Before Christmas all the time. All the time. It's so good. And the reason is because it's something that I watched when I was little, and I have such great memories. I sing along to all the songs completely off key and have the best time. So choose something special to watch. Put the chips in a bowl. And then you don't eat the whole bag, or if you do eat the whole bag, at least it's been decadent and it's in a bowl. There's something better about eating out of a bowl than eating out of a bag. And grab some dip, make it an event, make it bougie, make it enjoyable, right? Just like if it's a bath, make it toasty, have a candle, choose some mood music, get in the zone, have a good book, use a towel as a pillow. We all do it. We all do it. And make it really enjoyable. Intentional rest means that you're making your rest so that you will actually feel the rest, so that you will feel it. You'll feel your shoulders come down. You'll feel yourself relax in the tub because it's not all high fluorescent lights and you're just like rushing around. Take a hot second just to feel it. And if you are complaining that you need to rest, then commit to this rest. It doesn't have to be take the whole weekend, go to a spa, speak to no one, because you won't enjoy that either. It's create pockets of time so that you can rest. There's nothing wrong with going to a spa for a whole weekend. I'm not saying that you won't enjoy it, but what I am saying is if you just need a rest, what you'll do is you'll go for the weekend and then you'll have so much to do when you come back, you won't enjoy the weekend. You'll only think about work or your business. And then when you come back on Monday, you're more stressed than you even left. So let's make the rest intentional and throughout your life, not just when you're on holiday. This is not just for vacay. This is for every given opportunity that you have to intentionally rest, do it. And it's going to feel so good. And you're welcome. Let's lead on to the third concept we're going to explore today is getting back up. Getting back up. We've all gotten to the point where we feel a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit burned out, and we've failed, we've fumbled, we've fucked up. We all start and stop habits or performing at the peak level in areas of our life. Give yourself credit for all that you do, all that you have done, and get back up. Every time I fall down and I get frustrated in my own head, right? Quite typically, I will sit on the floor in front of a door, which is something that I'm like realizing is a habit. If I've ever felt this way, I'm like, every time I remember it, I have sat with my back to a door. So I don't know if it's like maybe it's some kind of trauma related thing. I don't know. Maybe there's a therapist out there that's going to comment for me, but I just think that it's somewhere I maybe feel safe. So anyway, I sit there and I can remember this so vividly. It's happened like 3 times. I remember it so vividly. And I just get so frustrated and angry and upset. And it feels like everything's happening to me. Nothing is happening for me when that's not the case, but it feels like that in the moment. And everything feels really heavy. And there's a lot of pressure. And there's just this voice. Now, call it universe, God, Yoda, whomever. And they just say, when are you going to get back up? How quickly are you going to get back up? Because the reality is that every single time you will. Life will keep going on. Time keeps ticking. The things that you're nervous about coming up, whether you're going traveling and you're nervous about it, or you're going to go and do a speech, or you've got an event coming up. Oh my gosh. Every single time that you feel overwhelmed or stressed about something that's coming up, the time is going to pass and it's going to happen anyway. No matter if you stay up all night worrying about it or not, you're going to get back up and you're going to choose to go again. And I live by this concept. I breathe it over all of my clients. Get back up. And they'll message me and they'll have things going on. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel this. I understand where you're at. And the question is, how quickly are you going to get back up? Not in a way that negates your feelings and that says don't feel your emotions. That's not accurate. But it is to say that when you get to that real crunch point, the biggest gift that I've ever been given by, I believe it's some kind of spiritual entity, has been how quickly are you going to get back up? Because you know you will. And typically after that, I'm like, dang it, they're right. I better get back up, right? So it cuts through so much of the drama and it becomes very matter of fact. So our key 3 concepts in avoiding overwhelm and burnout are not less, better, intentional rest, and the power question of today is in itself a concept, and it is how quickly will you get back up? Because even if you're not sure that you will, and you're in that stage right now, you're feeling a little overwhelmed, you're feeling a little burned out, I know you'll get back up. And I know it'll be stronger than the last time, and you'll be even stronger the next time. It's all about how quickly you choose to do it. So in the meantime, I will be over here believing in you, and I'll see you next week.